Okay, so please, if you can hear me, give me a thumbs up or maybe your favorite emoji, anything. Just know that, just to be sure that everyone can hear me here. Something, guys, emoji, thumbs up, raise of hands. Or am I speaking to myself? Okay, I've gotten one response, so I would like if I'm not speaking to myself. Thank you. Thank you for the response. So to start off, so good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar on raising safe digital kids. My name is Olamiposi Fashino, and I'm the founder of CybAware Hub. CybAware Hub is a non-profit organization that promotes and advocates for digital literacy, digital rights, and online safety. I really appreciate everyone for taking time out of their busy schedule to join us. Whether you are a parent, guardian, teacher, or simply someone passionate about children's well-being, you've made an incredible choice by being here today. We all know that in our world today, children are growing up online. They are called digital citizens or netizens because they learn, play, socialize in digital space, unlike us during our days where we could go to the playground to play, but now children's playground is online. And as adults, we are still learning to navigate the digital world ourselves. So this session is about bridging that gap. It's about helping parents and caregivers understand digital landscape, spot risks, and equip their kids with the right habits and tools to stay safe and confident online. We have an amazing speaker here today who will talk to us about raising safe digital kids. So please, I'll advise everyone take notes, jot down, like simply take notes, and also prepare your questions. If you have any question, you can wait to the end, or you can type it in the chat box, and we'll read it at the end of the talk. So once again, welcome to Raising Safe Digital Kids. So let's make this afternoon one filled with learning, reflection, and empowerment. So without further ado, I would like to read our speaker's profile. Our speaker is Omolara Esther Amzat. So I'll read our profile, and after which she will have the floor to talk. Also, I'm going to acknowledge that this webinar is done in conjunction or in collaboration with Young Women Christian Association, Lagos branch. So, yeah. So about Omolara. Omolara Esther Amzat is a cybersecurity advocate, youth trainer, and program analyst for Isaka certifications at Onitsha Business School. She focuses on cybersecurity education, governance, and digital safety with a passion for empowering young people and underrepresented groups to build resilience in the digital age. In 2025, Omolara graduated from the Trust and Safety Academy, organized by the Ghana Internet Safety Foundation, where she strengthened her expertise in designing safety measures for online platforms and advancing child online protection. She has also contributed to global policy spaces, including ITU-R Cybertracks and the West African School of Internet Governance, where she represented youth voices in cybersecurity discussions. Omolara is the author of Getting Started in Cybersecurity for Teens and has trained over 5,000 children and youth across Africa on digital literacy, cybercrime awareness, and online safety. Recognized internationally for her grassroots approach to contributing to combating cybercrime, she continues to drive initiatives that makes the digital ecosystem safer, inclusive, and resilient. So I know we are in good hands, and Omolara will take us through this topic or the theme of the day. So Omolara, over to you. Hope you can hear me.
Yes, I can confirm you can also hear me.
Yes. Feel free to share your screen. I think
Okay.
you have the permission.
All right. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. And it's such a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much, Olamiposi. And thank you to the team at CybAware Hub and also to the, please correct me if I'm wrong, Young Women Christian Association. Right. Thank you so much for having me here. Thank you. And I can see we have quite a number of people in the chat box. And if you don't mind, if you can quickly drop a reaction so I know we're together. I like my section to be very interactive. So that means that it's going to be a two-way thing. I'm not going to be the only one to talk. I would also expect other people to contribute as well. So you can drop your emoji or you can unmute your mic and say hi. It would really boost our energy and this section we're trying to have this afternoon. Thank you. Okay, I can see that's from the host. Okay, I can see someone from the chat box saying hi. Please, can we have more people? Let's be sure that everyone is here with us. If you're in transit or you're set to at home, just drop a reaction or message in the chat box. It would really boost our energy this afternoon. Hello, Fumi. Hello, Oyedika. Hello, Folashade. Hello, Roots. Hello, Olubowale. And I hope I'm able to call everybody, but I'm just saying hello once again, and I'm sure that everyone is together with me. So, the host has already done a lot of introduction already about me and what I do. So, like she said, my name is Omolara Esther Hamzat, and I am a cybersecurity expert, and my focus is around cybersecurity education, majorly ensuring that young minds, right, in Africa stay safe online. Like she mentioned, right, children no longer go out to play as we used to during our time and age. Their playground is literally the internet. They are used to technology. They are literally born with technology in their hands. So it's a different age, and that automatically means that parenting has taken a whole different turn. So the way parents used to train during our age and time is not the same thing that parents are expected to do parenting now, because technology is involved and a lot of things are evolve over time. So I would go ahead to share my slide. And while we have this discussion, I also want to share, because most times from experience, when people hear online safety or the kind of risks children face online, they tend to perceive or receive it as a threat or something to scare them. No, that's not the aim and objective. For every time an expert like me come to talk about sections like this, right? It is to enlighten you so you can better protect your children. It is not designed or organized just to put fear into your mind. So when you hear me start to talk about online grooming or the kind of risks your children can face online, is not to put fear into you. It's just to help you better understand that, okay, this is what is happening and this is how you can better protect your kids, or how you can help them stay safe online, right? So I'll go ahead to share my screen. Please let me know. You can raise your hands or drop a comment in the chat box if you need my attention on anything. Ola, please let me know when you can see my screen. Please confirm you can see my screen. Can anyone see my screen? Um, okay, I can see thumbs up, so it means you can see my screen. Thank you so much. So the topic for today is we're talking about raising safe digital kids, right? I'm not going to go all over everything I've said before now about how it is important that parenting, and when I talk about parenting, right, personally, I'm not a parent, but I have siblings who have children, right? I have younger cousin, and that automatically make me someone who contributes to parenting in their life, right? So that means that as a cybersecurity expert, I might not be involved in the everyday parenting, right? But I am involved when it comes to the digital parenting aspect of their life. So for anyone who is here who is, okay, maybe because I'm not a parent, it might not really be my session, you might be wrong, right? So it means that you're opportune to contribute to the digital parenting of children around you, whether they are children of your relative or children of your friends, or I mean, kids around you, right? You're contributing to their digital life. So it's important you also receive this insight I'll be sharing about raising kids in this digital age, right? So my name is Omolara Esther Hamzat. We're talking about raising safe digital kids, right? And thank you to the team for having me. On my next slide, okay, now we need to understand why this is an important topic, why online safety matters in this time and age. And we've talked about that already, but bringing it back again, we've established that children spend a lot of time online, more ever than before. They spend more time online. I want to believe that kids would literally have access to online before going to school in the morning. When they get to school, maybe because of assignments or the way the school is designed, they might still have to interact with technological device, right? When they come back from school, they might want to quickly play game or do one or two, or even watch the TV. The TV, most TV are smart TV now. So that means automatically it is still in quotes, they are doing something online. So by the time you do the plus and minus, you'd realize that these kids tend to spend a lot of time on the internet. They spend more time online, and it's not like that 5, 10 years ago. So it means that the world is moving drastically in another direction, right? Another thing is that a lot of times I've heard people say, oh, my kids don't have much access to the internet, or I don't allow them use mobile devices, or I don't allow them do this, do that. But what parents and guardians don't realize is whether you give them access directly or not, they tend to have access to it indirectly. So it might be they have access to your phone. It might not be their phone, but they pick your phone from time to time to play games with it, right? I have niece and nephew who would pick my phone in my absence to even press scroll or do a lot of things, right? That might not really be within my control, but it's just to establish the fact that they have access to the internet, whether you give it to them or not, they have access to it, right? And the internet is designed in a way to educate them. You see where kids play games online, you've seen them learn new things online. There are a lot of benefits that comes with the internet. But why online safety matters is because as much as there are a lot of good things that kids can do online, there are also a lot of risks that they are exposed to. So it means that we have to balance it. And then lastly, as parents and guardians, we are the first line of defense for these children. They might not know everything, they might not have access to the right information, right? They look up to us for so many things. So it means that we are expected to be their first line of defense, right? Let them know, let them understand this risk, help them understand how they can prevent it or how they can manage it, right? Because you are their first line of defense. So it means this topic matters and is very important. Now, to my next slide, I'll quickly just talk about a few common digital risks that kids tend to face every day, right? Might not be all. They might be exposed to one or two or three or more, right? These are just few and the most common one that kids face. So just hold on. I want to go back to my previous slide, and I just want to ask if one of our participants wants to quickly tell us one of the risks that they think kids face online, right? I know I spilled the tea already by showing you my slide, but I'm back now. So I want, if anybody's I mean anybody wants to talk, you might unmute your mic or you might just type it in the chat box. Just let us know one common threats or risks that you think kids face online as they use the internet or as they use technology. Please let's make this an interactive session. Remember, I said you might not be a parent, but you have young ones around you. So that means that you should understand what's happening. Anybody at all? Yes, I can see someone from the chat box say predators can have access to them. Yes, that's one of the risks that kids can face online. Someone said online crime. Yes, exploitation. Thank you so much. Yes, exploitation is also one of the things that kids can face online, right? They might be exploited. When I go for security awareness for kids, I let them understand that, oh, it's not just your friend who is on the other end. It's not just the friend you're playing game with on the other end that is available on the internet. There are also people who have bad intentions and are there to exploit you. So as much as possible, you need to stay safe online. So yes, someone also mentioned cyberbullying. Yes, I love I like to talk about cyberbullying because it's a two-way thing. And maybe when I come to discuss in detail, I would share a bit more about cyberbullying, right? Excuse me. Please excuse me. I need to get water. I was supposed to do this before now. Okay, thank you. Thank you, and apologies for that. So I'll come back to sharing in detail each of these threads that I have highlighted here, right? I mentioned, I think there are about 5 of them here, and these 5 will also give us more room to talk about others that might not be listed here. So first I have on the list is cyberbullying, right? And as I'm explaining this, right, it's important that you take notes. So this might be the same way you be communicating this to your kids at home, right? Explaining it to them. So cyberbullying is harassment or humiliation online. So we know the physical bullying that kids would experience, somebody bullying them or harassing them, right? So that's bullying. But this over time has also taken a new form. So even on the internet, online now, kids are bullied, and then we call it cyberbullying. And I like to talk about cyberbullying because it's easy for you as a parent or a guardian to say, oh, somebody is cyberbullying my child online, or somebody is cyberbullying my words online, right? But what parents tend to skip most of is that their their kids can also be the perpetrator of cyberbullying, right? So it means that your kid can be the one bullying somebody online as well. So it's important to help them understand that, okay, you might not be the victim, you might be the perpetrator, but either ways ensure that you stay safe online and you are not the perpetrator of this particular crime, right? And they might not see it as a big thing. It might be as little as they troll somebody under somebody's post, under somebody's comments. They make comments that are not so nice. They do things that are not so nice to other kids online. that is equal to cyberbullying, right? It doesn't have to be something big, the way we see physical bullying as hitting or fighting or something. Online might just be making a comment that is not so nice to another kid. That is already cyberbullying. So we need to train these kids to understand that they have to be nice and kind to everyone online, right? I'm not talking about when it comes to strangers online now, but I'm saying as they mingle with their friends online, as they chat, as they make use of this platform, they should be nice, they should be responsible digital citizen, right? And if they are victim of this, they should ensure that they report or they speak up. Another common digital threat here is online grooming. So this is where exploitation, the example that we made in the chat box, come in. Exploitation, online crime. I think somebody mentioned Perpetrator, yes, that's where it comes in. So perpetrators have now found their way to the internet on how they can be friends with kids and then lure them further to exploit them, either for financial reasons or exploit them into sharing intimate pictures with them, or even go as far as kidnapping these kids, right? We've seen video where kids trust strangers online, believing that they are friends or they are, in quotes, romantic friends, or they're in a relationship, and then such contact asks them to meet maybe in a private place or somewhere away from home. Don't tell mommy, don't tell daddy, come meet me, XYZ. We've been friends, we've been chatting for a very long time, and then they lure them. Many have been victim of human trafficking, many have been kidnapped, kidnappers demanding for ransom or whatsoever their motivation is, right? But online grooming is something that happens common, and I mean, it might not go so far sometimes, it might just be on the platform they bully these kids to further maybe get money from them or ask them to share intimate picture, like I mentioned earlier. Another risks that they can face online is phishing and scam. So phishing and scam is not just limited to just adults, right? Kids are also faced with scam and phishing, depending on the platform that they use, right? Whether it's social platform or gaming platform, they are also exposed to these risks, right? And the target might not be the kid directly. It might be from your kids now extending to you. So maybe they use your credit card on their platform, and then they scam them, and automatically that particular threat tends to affect you as a parent because your card is involved in that transaction. Another is inappropriate content, and this is sensitive because most times it is not it's it's not their fault, right? So they might be using platform, and then these inappropriate content tend to pop up or tend to appear, or they come across it accidentally, right? It is our role as parents to ensure that they are safe from even inappropriate content. I'm going to come back to share how we can manage all of these threats. And then last here is screen addiction and oversharing. This is something that is also common, right? Now you see kids spend a very long time on screen. They don't take break, they don't go out to play. You should as parents try to balance their screen time, right? So you can have them go outside physically to play within the compound, right? And then, or let them know that at XYZ amount on time they have to go to bed. They can't be with their gadgets, or you can only use your gadget two times, two, or maybe for 1 hour, 2 hour in a day, and that's also screen addiction is one thing that we find very common now, and is a threat because it would affect the child psychologically, and then as well health wise is also not good for their eyes and all of that. Oversharing is also another risk, right? Parents or the kids, maybe the older kid now, maybe overshare information on their social media platform, or the parents are the one who are oversharing about this child. But these are also risks that these kids are exposed to. If you're with me, kindly drop a reaction. Let me be sure I'm not talking to myself. Are we together? All right. Ruth, thank you so much for always being the first person to react. Thank you. Any other person? Are we together? I don't want to believe Ruth is the only one here, but I'll just proceed. The recording will be available.
Yes, we are together.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. So now I'll move to my next slide. Now I need to quickly talk about the places where our kids tend to spend time online, right? So it's easy, parents give gadgets to their kids but might not be able to monitor or fully understand all of the platforms that these kids tend to spend their time on. So I've mentioned a few here, and I believe if there are parents, other parents here, if there's anything I've not mentioned here, you can just unmute your mic and say that. So for social media, of course, the the teenagers between age, let me say 13 to 17, right? The ones that have access to like mobile devices for themselves, right? They spend a lot of time on TikTok. You barely find teenagers on Facebook like you would find them on TikTok, right? I mean, you'd find more baby boomers, millennials on Facebook, but you tend to find Gen Z, Gen Alpha, and the rest, you tend to find them more on TikTok, right? Instagram is also another platform you find them on. So don't be surprised when you go to search for your kids on Facebook, you might not see them there, but you find them more on TikTok, you find them more on Instagram, and Snapchat is also something that they make use of a lot, right? For like their gaming platform, they play games on Roadblock, there's Minecraft, there's Fortnite, and these are not gaming platform directly, right? These are actually platforms that are created for this game to now come in. So I like to explain it as, you know, the way ShopRite is, right? ShopRite is like the hosting ground for every other mall and store that wants to come and showcase or sell and do all of that, right? So that's also how you have Roadblock. So they are the platform, and then this other game are now available on that platform for kids to play, right? So most of the time I've seen cases where the kids face risks on Roadblock, Minecraft, and they try to sue them, but they don't always win because directly Minecraft are not the owner of this game. They are just the platform where this game are being hosted, or they serve as like the middle person for the gaming company and then the kids, right? I needed to explain this because most times when you say Roadblock, people think automatically that's a game. No, it's a platform where you have a lot of game hosted there and kids tend to play them. Minecraft is also similar to Roadblock. Then another place where children spend time is messaging app. So you can find them on WhatsApp, Telegram, Discord. They have different messaging app. It might not be the usual messaging app that you think they use every day. It might be Telegram. They might be more active on Telegram, Discord than they would be active on WhatsApp. You need to understand this so that as a parent, you would be able to guide your child or better protect them, right? You can't say, oh, you're going to search on their WhatsApp to see who they are who they're making friends with, or who are their friends, or what are their discussion. Unknown to you, discussion might not be happening there. Discussion might be happening on Telegram, and you're not even aware of that. So these are other also apps that children tend to spend time online. Then the learning platform, of course, we have Google Classroom, we have YouTube. They are YouTube designed mainly for kids. They can use that. For the older kids, would make use of the direct YouTube, maybe because of depending on what they want to learn, right? So these are some of the few platforms that kids spend time on. So is there any that I've not mentioned that any parent here wants to mention, bring to my attention? Is there any at all that your kid make use of that is not here? Anybody?
I can't think of any. I think all
Okay,
have been covered.
all have been covered here, right? Thank you so much for that. Any other person? Is there any that I've mentioned now that is not? Is there any you think your kids interact with that is not here? Okay, so maybe along the line or in the chat box, you can drop if there's any that I've not mentioned here. Now let's go to talk about parental tools and control. How, as parents, we can come in to ensure that our kids are safe online. There are different tools that we can use. So when we talk about parenting tools and control, people tend to think these are technical tools, or please hold on. Okay, people tend to think these are technical tools or sophisticated tool that they might need to pay for, or they need technical knowledge to be able to understand and all of that. But they are different type of parental tools and control that we can use as parents to ensure that our kids are safe online, right? For direct parental control tool that you can use to integrate, that you can integrate into your child's devices, right? That is also linked to your device as well. Is one of my favorite is a Google Family Link. And if you don't mind, I'll quickly show you what it looks like. I'm not going to spend so much time there. I just want to show you what the interface looks like. This picture you have by the right-hand side is what the platform looks like. But let me open the link and then I'll share so you can see what the platforms look like. It is called Google Family Link, and it's one easy parental tool that parents can use to ensure their kids stay safe online. So I'll switch to this tab and let me know when you can see it. Okay. Let me know when you can see the screen for the Google Family Link. Okay, thank you. Thank you. So this is what the Google Family Link interface looks like, right? And you have the overview of what the platform is all about. It will help you keep your family safe online. So parents to kids, you're able to manage them. So it allows you to understand how your child is spending time on their devices, right? You can manage the privacy settings and more. You can also set ground rules from them for them, right? You can limit the amount of time that they can spend on that devices. Once you put it, it would automatically reflect when that time is up, right? You can also manage and secure your children account. So whatever accounts that they've created or they use online, you're able to manage and secure it from your end as a parent as well. You can also stay connected with them as they go, right? So even outside the house, you can almost predict their battery life or their location and all of that, right? So the app is available on Google Store or App Store. You can check it out and see how you can make use of it. So I'll stop sharing and then I'll go back. Okay. Let me know when you can see my screen again. Let me know when you can see my screen again. Okay, thank you so much. So yeah, that was one of the parental control tool that we can use, right? Another is the Net Nanny. There's the Squad Studio, right? All of these you can check them out on Google. You can search for them and check them out. Then another thing you can do is apart from using tools like the Google Family Link, you can also make use of safe search settings for them. So instead of allowing them to use the usual Google, Chrome, or any of these search engines, you can allow them use more safer search engines, right? You can, instead of allowing them use YouTube, like I mentioned earlier, you can allow them use YouTube Kids, right? There are also search engines, particularly for kids, right? I did this, okay, I didn't add it here, but I'll add it maybe during the question and answer section. I'll search for it and I'll share in the chat box. There are also search engines that are safer for kids to use. So you can install it instead on their mobile devices. So that way they are better safe online. So that means that when they come to search for certain terminologies, they're not going to find it, or certain intimate or sexual materials will not pop up, right? Now, There are also rules that you can set on their devices. There are also rules that you can set up on their devices. You can limit their screen time. You can set permissions, different app permissions that they have. And also lastly here, another parental tool and control would be privacy settings. So you can help them learn how to use strong password. You can help them learn how to turn off their location. Tell them they should not have their location turned on every time. They can turn it off. That way they are better safe and they are protected. So I also needed to add that depending on the age of your child or the young one around you, they might be younger, let's say age 5 to 10, 11, right? Measures that you employ for those ones are different from what you would incorporate for like 13 to 17. So for like 13 to 17, they have more access directly compared to the younger ones. So you would have to check and see, okay, which of this parental control tool is applicable for this particular age range, which of this is more applicable for this particular age range, right? So for like the older ones now, right? You might not be able to, in quotes, have complete control. So I usually tell parents or guardians that when it comes to the older kids, what you should try to emphasize or what you should try to build more is communication and trust, right? Because sometimes these older ones are able to bypass some of this control you put in place. So what you would need to do more for that particular age would be build trust and communicate why or what you're necessarily trying to save them from. That way they would not see it as, oh, you're trying to prevent them from doing certain things. They'll see it as, oh, you're trying to protect them, so they better understand. For the younger ones, it's easy to use those tools because maybe they're not smart enough to bypass all of the settings and all of that. So again, as a parent, you need to look critically to, okay, what's the age of the child and which is better to employ for the two different age range that I've just given now. Now to my next slide. Okay, which brings us to building digital trust as parents, right? It brings me back to what I was trying to explain now, that different age range would require maybe more technical or more communication. So building digital trust as parents is important, especially for older kids, right? Communication is key. You don't want to make it sound as if I'm just saying no, 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 no. Don't use this platform. Don't use a mobile phone. Don't do this. Don't do that. It's not just no, no, no. You need to also explain to them what are the reasons behind such request or such information you're trying to communicate to them. You need to help them understand. Communication is very important, right? You need to be able to create a safe space for them. When anything goes wrong on the internet, they can come back to tell you that, oh, somebody has bullied me online, or a perpetrator is asking for my intimate picture, or somebody online is asking me to meet with them and all of that. You need to be able to create a safe space for them. If you're too rigid on them, they're going to experience things online and they'll find it very difficult to express or explain to you as a parent, right? So, which is why I said parenting has taken a different turn. It might not be the everyday life experience, right? It might be online experience for them that they find it difficult to explain to you. So it's easy to say, oh, what happened in school today? Tell me what happened in school today, or who did this, who did that, right? And you're forgetting that these kids also stay online and they have friends there, they have a life there, they have reputation there. So it means that you also have to create a safe space for them online, right? Make it easy for them to communicate their fears, their worries with you that they experience online, right? Don't just don't accuse them. So I've seen parents say, oh, accuse them about certain things, but it's better when you ask why certain things happen in certain way, right? Try to hear their own opinion, and that way you would know how to better manage the situation of what has happened online. So, for example, a kid come to tell you that, oh, they've been somebody's asking for their intimate picture online. As a parent, you're not supposed to start accusing, oh, why were you using, why did you use this particular app? Why did you start talking to the person in the first place? Why did you do this? Why did you do? Don't take the discussion that way, right? You need to understand that it is not their fault that they are being targeted online, right? Online is supposed to be a safe space for them, right? Imagine your child playing inside the compound and then somebody come to harm them inside the compound. You can't start to blame them that, oh, why did you why are you inside the compound? I mean, the compound is supposed to be a safe space for them, right? So also the internet or certain platform that they use are supposed to be safe places for them. But because this perpetrator find their way into this platform, then they are exposed to the risks. So it's not that particular child's fault that they are exposed to such risks. So you shouldn't start to do the blame game. Instead, you should ask and understand what really happened and try to see how you can mitigate or manage the situation. Right. Another thing is you should guide them. I tell parents a lot of times, whether you give them mobile devices or not, they have access to it because they have friends in school. They would pick your phone behind you and you would not know what they will do with it. So don't control them. Don't tell them, don't do this, don't do that. Don't, no, 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 no. Try to guide them, right? Help them understand why you're putting these certain rules or this rules and regulation in place. Try to help them understand, guide them instead of controlling them. And when you come to discuss real life example, when you come to discuss their online choices, add it to real life examples so they can understand. Don't just tell your child, don't cyberbully somebody online. Make them understand that, oh, you've read article where children express how cyberbullying affects them psychologically or emotionally or affects them. It's results into low self-esteem or any other psychological effects that we can think of. Help them understand that way, and they're going to see it as, okay, this is not just cyberbullying. It is something major because it has effects on whosoever I'm doing it on, right? When you come to tell them about not trusting strangers online, don't just say it as don't trust strangers online, right? Help them understand that they can be kidnapped, they can be victims, they can be harmed, anything can happen to them. So they should not, right? Try to put in real life example so they can better understand, right? Then now, we've talked about everything we need to know about building digital trust as parents. Now, what are the smart habits that our kids can have handy in their hands, like everyday tip that they need to know about how they can stay safe online? So it's important that you help your kids to understand that as digital kids, they need to think before they post. Anything they post online, they have to think about it, right? Let it not be something that 5 years, 3 years down the line, they're going to regret. Whether you know about it or you don't know about it, especially for the older kids, help them understand that whatever they post online has implications. So they should think before they post. Also, they should not talk to strangers online. Strangers would not necessarily come looking like strangers. They might come as friends of friends. So what I try to tell teenagers is anybody you cannot directly link to, anybody you don't remember knowing from anywhere, don't trust them with too much information. Don't talk to them. And if you even have to talk to them, ensure you don't share private information with them. Then another thing is they should protect their password. So for their platform, different platforms that they use, whether gaming, social, they should ensure that they protect their password. Another is they should report cyberbullying, right? Or any uncomfortable messages that anybody sent to them on any platform. So whether online, on Instagram, or on their gaming platform, if somebody bullies them or share any message that is uncomfortable, teach your kids how to report such accounts. Then lastly here, for their smart habits, teach them how to balance their screen time, and they should also have offline activities. So don't allow your kids spend their entire time on the internet. Also help them spend some time offline. Ask them to go outside, touch the grass, have some air, right? Not every time gadgets, gadgets, gadgets. They should also take break outside. Now, as parents, we should have checklists, right? And this checklist will help you ensure your child digital safety. So first, you want to understand your child online world, right? If I should go back to the platform that I mentioned before, some parents would not even know that maybe their kid make use of Discord or Telegram for communication instead of WhatsApp, right? You need to be able to understand what are the platforms that your kids usually interact with every day, what are the platforms that they use, right? And that way you're able to better protect them. Another thing is set family tech rule together. So don't just as a parent on your own decide the rule. Also have their own opinion, and then together you set the rule, right? Also make use of parental control app is very important. Then you also need to talk about online experience regularly. The way while growing up as a person, while growing up, my parents, I think like at least 3 times in a week, my mom or my dad will usually have something to say early in the morning or late at night. They just have one moral lesson to pass or the other, right? And they say it regularly just to instill good morals into you. So they're like, oh, don't do this, don't do that. Or if a particular sibling of mine misbehave or anybody misbehave among the children, everybody comes together and they would talk and say, oh, don't do this, don't do that. Oh, you should remember whose child you are, blah, 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 and all of that, right? Those are like lessons, life lessons that have built me that has helped build me as an adult, right? So also when it comes to digital parenting, you also need to regularly share online experiences with talk about it with your kids, right? Help them understand, let it become part of their life, right? It's not just something you say this year and that's all. You don't say it until next 3 years. No, it has to be discussion that you have regularly all the time. If as a parent you come across any harmful risks or any harmful online experience, share with your kids, hear their opinion, share how they can stay safe online from that, right? It's very important. Also, help your kids understand that it is very important that they have empathy and they are kind to other people online. So, like I've said, when it comes to cyberbullying, your kids can either be the victim or the perpetrator. So they might be the one bullying somebody else online and you're not even aware. But it's important to teach them that they should ensure that they are kind and they have empathy online towards others. And lastly, you yourself as a parent should model healthy digital behavior. You can't be spending 10 hours. Okay, 10 hours is too much. Mommy cannot come back from work and then after dinner, she's pressing her phone till she goes to bed and she expects when she tell the kids that, oh, you can't have your iPad after 8 p.m. or after 7 p.m., they should respond in a good way. You should model what you teach these kids, right? Model it. If there's a reason why you're on your mobile devices for a longer time, explain to them so they understand, right? Because kids model what they see us do. If they see you insult or dragging somebody online, it's the same thing they're going to do on their platform. You might be doing yours on Instagram and they're doing their own on Roadblock. You don't know. So let's ensure that as parents, as guardians, right, that we model healthy digital behavior for these kids to see. Now if I knew the class was going to be this quiet, this session was going to be this quiet, I would have added a lot of interactive section to drag everybody to talk. But maybe when we get to the end, question and answer, I would hopefully we get to hear from other people here. Now to my last slide. So these are resources and steps that I think would be helpful for parents and guardians going forward. This book here, Getting Started in Cybersecurity for Teens, I wrote this book myself and it's out of experience for creating awareness for kids for the past 3 years. And it's not enough that you tell them how to stay safe online. It's important that you're able to give them material that reinforces this learning. So I wrote this book as a tool to empower kids on how they can stay safe online. So if you're a parent and you're looking for how to strengthen your kids' online safety, you can get a copy of the book. It's available on Seller and Amazon. I can share the link in the chat box or I'll share it Olami. So if you need to reach out, you can get a copy. There are also websites that we can visit as parents to better help us understand our child online world. right? So you have platforms like staysafeonline.org, you have saferkids.ng. Also, the CybAware Hub, I'm sure they have material and resources that can be helpful for parents to make use of. There are also communities that you can join. You can join community like the CybAware. I'm not sure, Olami, if you have a community for parents, but of course, you can always find resources from her LinkedIn platform. I think I've seen her on LinkedIn or Instagram. You can find information that are helpful to you as a parent. Then there's also the African Online cyber safety platform. This particular one has a lot of resources that are helpful. I personally highly recommend this platform for parents and guardians and educators here. Then also I have a website on Instagram and LinkedIn where I share also important tips on how kids can stay safe online, right? It is called Getting Started in Cybersecurity Hub. You can also check it out. So this is to say that in order to raise kids that are safe online, in order to raise safe digital kids, it is my responsibility, it is your responsibility, it is everybody's responsibility, right? Every little effort we make towards ensuring kids are safe online, we're contributing towards the future, and it would really go a long way. So thank you so much for having me. If you need to connect with me on LinkedIn, Instagram, or get more information about my book, you can just scan this QR code on your screen and you're going to find every information you need to know about me. So thank you so much for having me. I'll take questions or contribution now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Molara.
Thank you, Omolara.
Okay. I've learned quite a lot from
Thank
all
you.
that you. Sorry. Go on, Olami Bosse. Go on.
Oh, okay. So thank you, Omolara. Sorry, my network is quite terrible here. Thank you. I learned so much. So now it's time for question and answer. If you have any question, you can raise your hand or you can type it in the chat. But to start with, I have some questions from the Google form I sent. The first one here is how can I track my daughter's a teenager's social media account? Is there a way to clone it? I don't know. That's the question. Can you all hear me? But my network
Yes.
is quite terrible today. It's not the best.
Yes, we can.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
so I will add
Thanks
some.
for the
Is it
question,
proper for a
Olivia.
parent to think about cloning their child's social media accounts?
Can anybody hear me?
What's it?
Yes, you can.
Okay. So should I take the question now or you want to ask the question in bulk?
No, you can take the question now.
Okay. So like I explained earlier, right? I've explained that when it comes to dealing with the younger ones or the older ones, you have to be strategic. You have to be careful. I don't think it's right for a parent to even think that you want to track or clone your child's account, right? No matter how, I mean, parents like to say, oh, that particular child is stubborn or that particular child is not open enough. It's not a thing of control, right? What I would even advise such parents to do is try to use parental control too. So like the Google family now, you can control the activity or limit screen time and all of that, right? You can use that, right? Another thing is you can build trust. Building trust is very important. make it safe enough for your kids to be able to talk about everything and anything. You need to help them understand, right? You don't like them better than themselves. I don't know if that makes sense, right? I know we're trying to be parents, we're trying to protect them, but you don't like that child more than they like themselves. You just need to explain to them enough to understand the kind of risks that they would face. There's no way you would tell a child repeatedly that online, if they trust strangers online and they meet them without telling you, they can be exposed to the risks of kidnapping, human trafficking, and then that particular child goes on to meet a stranger online. No matter how stubborn they are, you just need to make them understand the risks that they would face from using this platform wrongly. If you help them understand better and they ever face any risks, it's easy for them to come back to meet you. So I don't think it's good to track or clone their websites. What they might start to do is they'll start deleting chat for you not to see. And I don't think it's a healthy one. So I think it's not a good one. And instead, if they really want to have a control over their child's device, then they should make use of parental control instead. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I still have one more, and that's like the most common question or request I got. Age appropriate content. How do I ensure that my child is not seeing anything harmful on social media, on YouTube? How do I ensure they're not exposed to pornographic content? A lot of people ask that
So
question.
I'm sorry to say, but there's a lot of back and forth when it comes to the content that kids are exposed to online, right? There's a lot of discussion going on, there are a lot of policy being made, a lot of treaties being worked on every day to ensure that kids are safe online, right? There's a recent progress as regards that, where kids now have to ensure that they signify their age when they are trying to sign up on this platform. And that means automatically the platform will ensure that these kids are not exposed to pornographic content or any inappropriate content that they are not supposed to see. And there's no way you bypass it, because you have to provide maybe your birth certificate or your identification mode, right, before they're able to have access to this platform. So that is happening outside Nigeria, outside Africa already. And let's just only pray that it's being fast-tracked down to Africa and Nigeria and it's applied. So when your kids sign up for maybe platform like Meta, WhatsApp, or any of this platform, right, they are guaranteed that the content or anything they'll be seeing on that platform would be designed in a way that they are not exposed to any inappropriate content that they are not supposed to see. So let's just continue to pray and hope that it happens so fast and we're able to get to that level. That's for the older kids. And now for the younger ones, I've shared that you can use safer search engines for them instead of Google, and you can make them use Google YouTube Kids instead of the normal YouTube. So that way, at least you're able to prevent the younger ones from inappropriate content exposure. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. Please permit me to leave my camera off because of my internet. Any questions from the participants? Please raise your hand or use the chat box. Okay.
I have a
Regarding
question.
Oh, okay. Yes, please ask.
Okay, so thank you very much for this session, and it's been very informative, and your slides were very detailed and very, very pretty. Looks good. So my question right now is that, when it comes to, you said learning platforms, said YouTube and the likes, I would like to zero down on YouTube, because personally, even when using YouTube, I found myself that some content that I don't want to see, it ends up coming back to my feed. And this is me. I have literally formatted or cleared my history like 2-3 times, but it keeps repeating itself. Things I don't want to see, I end up seeing it. Information I don't want to get, I end up getting it. Like it's and if this content that is being projected to me, I find the content toxic to my mental health personally. Not like nothing inappropriate, and it's just like toxic to me. So right now, my YouTube um history is off. So I just go to YouTube and search for something and then watch it. So this is me, you know, practicing total like shutdown. So I've shut away YouTube from my internet use. I don't use YouTube except I want to go and search for something and then I go there because the history that I don't know if it's the algorithm or what they call it. It keeps bringing things I don't want to see to my feed. So when it comes to children now, by the time you search for maybe Coco Melon for a child to watch, then the next thing after Coco Melon is recommending something else for the child to watch and fine is YouTube Kids or what they call it and everything like that. Fine, it might be kids content, but then some kids content at the end of the day, you don't want your child being exposed to certain kids content. I don't know how to put it, but is that like a way to further streamline or basically can you control the algorithm? That's what I want to find out. Can you control the algorithm? Even with it's your search history and everything, YouTube still brings you what it wants to bring you. At the end of the day, that's what me I think. That's what I believe.
Okay, thanks so much for that question. Right. When it comes to online safety for kids, right, there's a lot of discussion going on. And the reason why there's a lot of discussion going on is because these platforms that kids make use of, right, they are more interested in their profits than the safety of these kids. That's just the truth, right? And that's why there's a lot of discussion ensuring on how we can make them accountable to their actions, right? They cannot just focus on profits to the detriment of kids' well-being online, right? I can say to some extent that the amount of inappropriate content you're going to see on the adult YouTube is not the same thing as what you see on kids YouTube. There's like a whole channel dedicated. It is called YouTube Kids, right? So I don't think there's any way you would see inappropriate content on YouTube Kids. It's designed mainly for kids, right? Even whether ads pop up or not, it's not going to be any inappropriate content, right? And their web browser, like I've mentioned, that you are mainly designed for kids. So even when they search for certain things are not going to pop up. Inappropriate content are not going to pop up at all, right? So there's little to the control that we have as parents, which is why supervision is also something very important. So you can't just leave them to their device 2 hours, 3 hours straight. From time to time, you can go through their history. You can, from time to time, help them check or see. We don't have control on the algorithm on what to show up and what to not show up, especially for the older kids, right? Which is why it is very important to empower them with all of the knowledge that they need, right? I wish there's a copy of, please just hold on, let me get a copy of my book and show you something.
Okay.
So this is my book. This is not for promotion purposes, but I just want to show you that there's a particular portion that is even dedicated to if kids ever fall online, if they ever fall victim online, what they can do. Oh, sorry, my background is small, so it's not going to. Okay, so maybe it's not going to show, but I'll try to see if, or I'm going to share maybe like an e-copy or something. But like there's like a whole portion that talks about if they fall victim, what they're expected to do. So that means as a parent, you've considered that you can't have them safe online 100%, right? You've thought about the proactive measure and you've also thought about the reactive measure, right? For now, you don't have 100 control about them seeing the algorithm, about them seeing what is inappropriate or appropriate, right? What you can do is empower them in a way that even when certain things shows up or comes up, they are able to manage it better, or they are able to walk up to you and express it, and you're able to help them better handle it, right? So it's not our fault as parents, and we're not there yet, right? There's a lot of work that needs to be done by this platform, right? I say that they should be like a whole, which is what this platform are trying to do. I was at a conference recently at Metal, and all of the discussion was around how to ensure that kids stay safe online. So they're even trying to see how they can design this platform in a way for even the younger adults that there's a portion for them, right? The youngest one, that's like the maybe age 5 to 10 and the rest, there's like a platform, whichever way they are safe in a way that they are not exposed to inappropriate content. But until we get there, until we get to what we want to achieve, the future we want when it comes to online safety, what we can continue to do on our end as parents is to ensure that you help your children, empower them with the right knowledge that they need to stay safe online until we get to that future we envision where, okay, kids can even scroll through the internet for days without even coming across any inappropriate content. So honestly, that's just my feedback. I know it's a very sad one, but that's just it. We don't have control over this algorithm, and I don't think there's really anything we can do for now than to empower these kids and make use of the tools that we can make use of for now to at least control that or manage that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. At least discussions are ongoing, so probably in the nearest future we will have control over what they can say and what they can do.
Yes.
I have another question in the chat. I have a question in the chat. What are some safe search engines?
Okay, I said I was going to search for that, so just give me a minute. We can take another question while I search for that. I have them in
Okay.
mind, but I've forgotten a few of them. So let me
I have a
search and
question.
show that. Search
Okay.
engine. Okay, please go ahead.
How do we disable some websites that we don't want our kids to go on?
So you can do that using the search engine that they use. So on the search engine, they can be you can manually, what is it called? You can manually disable those websites, or you can, I mean, the easiest way to go about it is just to ensure that they make use of certain browser for kids, certain search engines designed for kids. So it means that even if they search for those words on those search engines, it's not going to come up, nothing will pop up, or there's going to be a control or a parental guide that shows that, okay, this is an inappropriate content and they cannot see it. So it's better to make use of search engine instead of maybe allowing them to use the normal engine and you're trying to disable them from using certain websites and the rest. So maybe while we have other discussion, I'll share the exact website search engine that I
So does that
use.
mean we'll then disable Google search engine?
I don't advise you allow your kids use Google search engine.
Because they know how to use it. So how do we disable it?
That's the thing. So I mean, you can what is it called? Your phone would usually come with Google as your default browser, but you can uninstall it, right? Or you can go to your setting and ensure that certain browser are used instead. I'm sure you've
So
seen
on the
where
computer, not the phone.
you what?
On the laptop, not on the phone.
Yes, even on the laptop, you can disable it. You can make the default browser on your laptop to be a certain browser. I mean,
Okay.
as adults, we decide whether you want to use Microsoft Edge as your search engine, or you want to use Chrome, or you want to use Firefox. So under that settings, you can just make it that the default is this particular search engine instead of the normal Google Chrome. Or even using Chrome, there's a particular setting you can use to ensure that they are not exposed to certain content, right? So I'll also search for that and I'll share with Olamipo.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, S. Amolara. One more question. Is there any question? One more. Going. Okay. We don't have any question. In the absence of any question, Amoladra, maybe anything you want to tell, any advice you want us to go home with?
Okay, so I want to share in the chat box what parents can use when it comes to even Google directly, how you can ensure there's a search, there's a safe search. Your kids can safely search on Google safely. So I'll share that in the chat box. It's called safe search. I'm trying to look for let me stop sharing my screen. So
Okay.
this, you can use this website, just click on this website and you can use it to at least blur or filter explicit images, text or links on a particular website for your kids. And then still on the search engines, right? There's this one called, just hold on, I'm not sure again, but let me see, let me be sure. There's one called Kiddies. Yes, it's Kiddies. So I'll share the link as well. So this, okay, let me even share my screen instead. So this is one also browser that you can use, and maybe we can just do like a mini demo to see maybe if you search for sexual content, if it's going to pop up. So this is Kiddies, and then I'll try to search for, let me search for, okay, I believe we are all adults here. Olamiko, please confirm that, or we have
Yes,
any.
we are all adults here.
Okay,
I
so
will
I'll
fit
just,
in.
okay. So let me search for nudes and see if what's going to be the feedback. Of course, you're going to have oops try again. So let me search for something else. Let me search for kittens. So you see, so it means that anytime your child go to, of course, we have feedback for kittens, but when I searched for nude, there was nothing. You have to try again. So it means that over time, they've put in keywords that if you type, you're not going to get feedback for. So let me type sexual images and see if we're going to get a feedback. You see, you're going to get oops try again. So it means that if a child comes to search for anything inappropriate themselves, it's not even going to come up. So this is like a better search engine that you can equip, you can give your kids to make use of instead of the normal Google. If we go to normal Google, of course, you're going to get feedback. It's not going to tell you try again, right? It does not care whether it's a kid on the other end or it's an adult. It's just going to give you the feedback. But this particular browser is designed mainly for kids, and it means that certain things that they search for, they're not going to get the feedback for it. So I'll share the link to this as well. So at least we are sure that our kids can search safely here without falling victim or seeing any inappropriate content. I'll share in the chat box as well. Okay, somebody is also dropping a technical feedback here that you can configure your router from your service provider and ensure that they limit the size and also configure the devices for them. Thank you so much. Yes, you can do this, but this is a bit technical. If you're willing to go through it, you can do all of that settings for their devices before you even hand it over to them. Take it to maybe a technical person to do the setup to ensure that it limits their screen time and also the app that they can make use of and all of that. Right, yes, so this is another recommendation. Thank you so much, Mr. Olubowale. Thank you so much. Yes, so if that's all the question, I'll just hand over to the hosting team. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Omolara. I enjoyed this session. I also learned a lot. Thank you so much. And I'm sure participants learned so much from you today. Please follow Omolara on LinkedIn. I know she's very active on LinkedIn, so please follow her on LinkedIn and learn a lot. And also, our book is actually very educative and informative. So if you're interested in learning more about things, online safety for children, please ensure you should get our book. She didn't pay me to promote the book, so this is just me doing it on my own. So please follow Molaram. And yes, this session is recorded and to be posted, to be uploaded on YouTube. The link will be sent to everyone who registered. Also, all the sites and tools she mentioned will also be included in the email. So you have access to that. We at CybAware also created a practical guide for parents, teachers, and guardians, which we will send to you all via the email. Please, this is our online. This is our LinkedIn. Please follow her. Thank you. Yes. So all this information will be sent to you via email on Monday, 27th of October. So thank you all for joining. Thank you all. And till next time, let me just show you briefly till next time. Thank you. So this is the guide we're going to share with people. Hope you can see my screen, but you can log out.
Thank you.
Yes. So expect this guide also in your email. So thank you all. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much, Omolara. And thank you to everyone who
Thank
joined
you.
from the beginning to the end. Thank you.
Thank
Have
you.
a wonderful
Bye.
Saturday. Bye.
Thank you.